All right, how you guys doing? Welcome back. Playing a little bit of Minecraft today. So don't really remember what we were doing last time, but that's okay. We're just gonna jump on in. I think if I'm not mistaken, we were still kind of working on the house, kind of getting that fixed up. If also, I believe I did a little bit of resource kind of gathering off camera. So those will probably be like the 2.5, 3.5, like the point 0.5 episodes. So you could always skip those if you didn't want to watch all of that. Um, but let's see here. So definitely not gonna finish up the place today. There's just so many different like resources that we actually need to get stacked up for what I'm like I guess planning on doing. But I mean, it's fine. It's fine. No big deal. We're just gonna work at it, and we're gonna get there one of these days. So let's see. So some of the times. Okay, yeah. Once I get going right here, we should be fine. Perfect. Okay, cool. So anyway, how you guys doing? How's your weekend? Today it is what is it? May 9th, Sunday, May 9th. So I mean, really just getting into the weekend over here. Hopefully you guys have been having a good weekend so far. Uh, right now it is. I think it's like 6 o'clock. Oh, it's 7:30 when I'm recording this right now. So a little bit later in the day. So it's pretty much the end of the weekend. But I mean that's fine. That's fine. I mean, I almost feel that like as you kind of get a little bit older as an adult, the weekends. I guess depending on the job, the weekends don't necessarily matter as much. You know, because if you have a job where you're working on the weekend, and I mean it's hard to be excited for the weekend at that point. Everyone sometimes you'll have the friends that are like, oh dude, we're going out to the lake this weekend, we're going out to Cabo, we're going out to Galveston, Lake Conroe, wherever, we're gonna go boating. You're like, oh, I'm gonna go sit in a cubicle for a little bit of time and make some calls that I don't want to make. Pretty exciting weekend, pretty stoked for it. But I mean, it is what it is. You basically shift your weekend a little bit later on anyway. So Tuesdays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays. Sometimes you kind of split them up. You get those Tuesdays and Thursdays maybe being your weekend, and those are the ones that I always kind of look forward to. Um, so, but I mean, anyway, yeah. Like, how's your weekend been? I mean, hopefully it's been pretty darn good. I usually don't like doing a heck of a lot during the weekend, or during whatever your weekend may be, or my weekend may be. I usually just kind of like to kick back. I tend to be a little bit of a homebody, but I mean, it is what it is. Everybody's got their own little their own thing that kind of tickles their fancy. But yeah, just I've been kicking back. I've been relaxing, having a good time. Um, and yeah, so today we're just gonna, be kicking it on Minecraft a little bit. I'm thinking maybe a little bit later tonight, I might play some Halo campaign just so I can get those episodes placed up or like up on my YouTube channel. Make sure it's kind of consistent. I didn't really do any of this stuff yesterday. I just wasn't necessarily feeling it. You know what I mean? Like some days you feel it, some days you don't. But today I'm feeling it. I'm feeling the creative itch at this point. But what I will say is, last night I was playing a little bit of Valheim with one of my buds, and let me tell you, like now that I played that last night, my control scheme is like all out of whack. It feels. Um, now, mind you, nothing has changed on this, but just your different fingerings, you kind of get used to it. Hold on, before let's iron axe. So I'm not sitting in this menu for an hour trying to figure it out, trying to talk and do this all at one time. Now, what I will say, I'm starting to get like a hell of a lot more respect for the people that have done this for a while. a little bit of gaming, and especially for those who actually like talk while they game, because I get mind flooded to all hell. I kid you not. I mean, I 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have such a hard time multitasking on all these things. Um, but I I want to make sure that I get a little bit of a conversation going for you guys. So bear with me. We're gonna work through this. We're gonna get to the point where it's just second nature, where we're just kind of kicking it off, and things just happen, dude. You know, I think that's really how you got to do or go about it. You got to separate mind and body at this point. But as of right now, my mind and body are not one, unfortunately. Um, yeah, and primary example, I don't know if you guys are bad about this as much as I am, but whenever I'm like chatting with anybody in person, or I mean, honestly, even whenever I'm chatting over Discord with people, I am always talking with my hands. I mean, I look like I'm doing some kung fu or something. Um, you know, and I like there are definitely some things that I tell myself, hey, let's go and calm down on these. You don't need to be doing this like crazy. No, the talking with the hands, eh, you know what it is? Expression. I think it adds a little bit of extra flair, and people are like, oh man, not only is he a great conversationalist, but he's also probably a black belt in something. Krav Maga, Jiu-Jitsu, all three maybe. So at that point you just kind of play it off. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So and it turns out I just can't keep my hands still as I go about it, but it is what it is. So let's see. I didn't start a timer for this episode like I did last one. I mean, I'm just gonna kind of mentally keep track of where we're at on this. I I don't want them to go too long. I am kind of looking for that sweet spot about 30, maybe even like 45 minutes, provided that I'm feeling it in the air tonight. Any Phil Collins fans out there? Um, but yeah, I mean, because you don't want to really overburden it with everything. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a pretty big YouTube watcher myself. So like sometimes whenever I go on YouTube and I see other like videos and the time says about an hour and 30 minutes, sometimes no, it could be the exact same thing that I want to watch or the exact thing that I want to watch, and if I see an hour and 30 minutes, oh dude, gross, absolutely gross. I will just I'll go to the video, hit them with a dislike, and then just dip on out. I'm just like, make your videos shorter. I'd like to watch them, but I mean, an hour and 30 minutes? Are you crazy? So definitely try to avoid that. Just trying to get somewhere in the middle at that point. But who knows? Maybe I'm in the minority on that one. Maybe everybody really actually enjoys the like the longer episodes. Um, I've actually hold on. I've actually got a better idea or something that I want to do on this one. What I'm thinking right now, just so you guys can visualize visualize kind of what I'm going on right or what I've got an idea. So right in the middle, I'm gonna have a pillar. I mean, it's a pretty big circle, so I could probably get like two little pillars going on. But I think what I want to do is have a little bit of a catwalk type area up here. So before before I just start filling it in, I'm just going to kind of kind of border this, if you will. Border this in, that way it's even throughout. And we'll have a nice little catwalk up here. We'll put our bed up here. I was gonna say put our chest up here as well, but it's probably not gonna do that. I'm thinking, honestly, I've got so many different ideas of what kind of what I want to do with this. I mean, as I said before, I am kind of following a little bit of a structure of how I usually build things, just because I know that they're aesthetically pleasing most of the time. I mean, in my opinion, somebody else might see it and think that it's absolutely disgusting, but I mean, that's kind of the beauty of everybody's kind of creative kick at that point. You get a little something something throughout everybody, and I mean, honestly, I was kind of experiencing that last night on. Oops, I was experiencing that last night on Valheim. If you've played or I guess if you haven't played Valheim, just to kind of give you a rundown, they do have a crafting system on there as well, and that's the crafting systems. Well, the crafting systems in any of the games are one of my favorite things. It really is. I I feel that I'm almost like a little bit of a right brain and a little bit of a left brain kind of guy. I tend to be pretty good at math, and I think that's just kind of in the genes at that point. And I'm not talking about my Hollister genes. No way, no way. I'm talking about like my biological nature at that point. Because my grandpa apparently, I actually have not met my grandpa before he passed away, but apparently he was mathematical genius, and I mean I always get like a little bit of stories about him, just kind of here and there from I guess my mom usually. My dad's not really the biggest. Is this gonna be right? Maybe one more right there. I think that probably will look good. But yeah, I mostly get all my stories about my lineage, even stories about my dad from my mom, because my dad is just such a quiet guy, and it's a little bit of a bummer every now and again because you're like, hey dad, can you tell me about this? And he's like, yes. It's like, okay, elaborate. Yes. um, so am I gonna just have to pry on all of these things? Yes. Oh, okay. All right. Cool. Well, so it's basically, long story short, I definitely get all my